Hello, my name is Elijah Desmond, and I am the co-founder of Driven Dental Implant Marketing. Thanks so much for listening today. Today, I'm going to be giving you an overview of Driven Dental Implant Marketing and our Virtual Patient Advocate program, our VPA program. And I'm going to be teaching you how we will be doing a done-for-you service to get you these big implant cases that range from 20, 30, 40, 50, even $60,000 cases where your team does not have to do the work. We do all the work and we don't send you leads, we send you patients. So it's important before I tell you exactly how we do what we do, that you understand where we come from. And if you understand where we come from in our journey, you'll be able to understand us better and work with us as part of your team better in your practice. So thank you for watching this video in its entirety. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to go through this journey with your team. So I'll go ahead and start by saying that there's going to be 4 different sections that we're going to talk about today in this condensed short meeting. The first thing we're going to talk about is marketing problems. The second thing we're going to talk about is our journey. Then we're going to talk about the solution that we're providing to you. The next thing is that we're going to have you meet our team specifically. So the first thing we'll talk about is the marketing problems. And that overall problem that everybody knows about is, time is money, and wasting your time through all of your consultations to find out that the patient does not have money, to find out that they don't get approved for credit, wasting your time on the schedule for patients to no-show, wasting the valuable time of your team while they're going through all the leads that your marketing companies are continuously sending you. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 leads in a month. And your team has to take the time to go through all of that. Half the patients don't even show up. The ones that do show up, they make it through that 1-hour consultation to find out that they don't have the money and they're just shopping. Well, we understand and we get that. And we're actually going to give you a solution for that. So the next thing is there's team problems. So they have so many hats that they're wearing. Is there time to answer the phone? Not really. Is there time to follow up with the leads? Not really for most practices. There's just not time to follow up with these patients. And what happens is there's then delayed responses. And a lot of times patients aren't picking up their phone because they weren't contacted immediately. And so then all of a sudden you spend this money on the marketing campaign and you have a staff that is constantly turning over and you have to trust them to constantly answer the phone. And they're your newest trained employee. That's a lot of responsibility. And then you have to retrain them. These are consistent problems in our industry, and I'm very well aware of that. I also, myself, not only have I owned multiple businesses in dentistry, but I also spoke in over 50 cities for Straumann. And I actually am a dental hygienist turned entrepreneur that no longer practices, but I get what it takes to get a conversion. So I understand all of this stuff with new patient problems. A lot of these patients come in, they don't have credit, right? They have bad credit. They have no money. They're on Medicaid. They're not educated from a dental standpoint. They no-show and they're shoppers. Then they get the famous line at the end of their appointment, right? After you've given them the best case of presentation ever, they get to the end of the appointment. What do they say? Well, I need to go and check with my spouse. Those are all new patient problems that we have solved. Also, campaign problems. If you're working with other marketing companies, they're not generating you the leads. They're getting you way too many leads that are just, they're not qualified. Wrong marketing budgets. A lot of companies think the more money you throw at something, the better results. That's not always the case. Wrong targeting. You're targeting the wrong patients and then the wrong messaging. We personally believe in providing value, not discounting. If that's what you like to do, that's fine. However, we fully believe in essentially providing the best value and charging full price, not discounting your prices. So the next thing we're going to talk about is our journey. We've come a long way. We've been specifically in the dental space for many years. I graduated myself from The Ohio State University as a hygienist actually in 2009. In 2015, I started my 6th business It was back to the basics, which then turned into the marketing company. But I met my business partner, Charles Biami, in 2015, whenever I was doing my consulting business. I brought him on to my consulting company, which I no longer have, but I brought him on to the consulting company in 2016, where we were essentially tracking all the marketing before we started doing the marketing. End of 16, we started marketing in dentistry for all things in dentistry after we tracked what actually worked. We seen what worked was things on Facebook and Google. Now we do Facebook, Google, YouTube, Google Display Network, and Instagram. 2017, we seen that the highest return on investment came from implant cases. So patients that would come in, they were seeking implant cases. Those were the highest case of ROI. So we decided, you know what, we're going to stick to what is bringing in the highest ROI for offices, and we're going to do the implant marketing niche. So that's where we decided to go down that road. We also decided that in 2018, we would bring on a coach to coach offices. 2019, we decided that we would test out a call center because all the amounts of leads that we were generating, it was so much in the front, we decided to bring a call center in. In 2020, that was the year of the virtual patient advocate. Man, it was 2020, a bad year for many and a good year for others. For us, it was the best year because we ended up growing our business 3 times from pre-COVID. The year of the virtual patient advocate was absolutely amazing. And then 2021, which is this year, the year of credit repair. And so that's kind of our journey. So you understand where we've been and where we've came from, our journey and where we're going. So back to 2015, Charles Biami, he's come in as the marketing expert. I, the dental professional, the consultant, the dental hygienist, I have the clinical arm. We have 33 team members on our team currently, and I'm sure this video will be playing for a while, so hopefully we'll be at 50 by the end of the year. But right now, I have a team of half dental professionals that are, they've been in the pits, they're the experts, et cetera. They've been in the offices, and then you have half of the marketing gurus specifically to focus on one thing, and that is dentistry. So we are the best at it. So that was 2015 when we met. 2016, we decided that we would essentially do marketing for all things in the digital space. And as I told you before, we decided that the niche of implants made the most sense. So that's what we decided to go down that route in 2017. Man, that seems like it was yesterday. We realized that you can have the best marketing company in the world, but if you don't have a coach to implement systems and processes and get the financing in order, then all the marketing you're doing is a waste of money. So that's when we implemented a coach. In 2019, we decided that there was so many leads that we were producing, we needed to incorporate a call center. In 2020, we thought, you know what? It's time to take all the work off the dental practice. Let's bring everything in-house. That's when I met my friend, Dr. Brian Harris with Smile Virtual. Completely changed our company. If you don't know Brian Harris, Dr. Brian Harris is an amazing cosmetic dentist out of Arizona. He has a platform, virtual platform called Smile Virtual. Highly recommend it. It changed the way that we do things. We essentially went out and we hired 15 treatment coordinators. We call them the virtual patient advocates. You'll be hearing about that really shortly here in this presentation. That was our biggest year, and it really changed dentistry. And I feel like it set the tone for all marketing industries in our marketing companies in our industry. 2021, the year of credit repair. You know, in dentistry, everybody has suddenly, everybody forgot about credit repairs. People use it for, auto loans, for home, to get houses. Everybody's thinking about credit repair, but nobody's thinking about it for dentistry. So we went ahead and brought that in dentistry, and we're referring out to credit repair companies for the people who can't have or don't have the credit. So we refer them out to a credit repair company, and in 60 to 90 days, we get that patient back. And sure, there's a small percentage of them who can actually afford to the credit repair company and afford payments, but there's still that 5 to 10%, which is absolutely amazing. So we get them back, and now all of a sudden they can afford a $20,000 to $30,000 case. They can get finance for that. So 2021 is about the year of credit repair. So that's our journey. And now let's talk about what is our solution. So as we spoke about before, Google Ads is our main platform. Digital is in general, but Google Ads, Google Display Network, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Something that's extremely important to understand is that we use Google Display Network, and something that's really cool about Google Display Network and YouTube is that you have the ability to actually target your competition. So where big companies that are out there, these huge implant centers, they spend tens of thousands of dollars a month on marketing. Here's the cool part. You actually can guinea pig off their marketing and target the people that they're targeting and get a second look, essentially, that's extremely affordable. It's way less expensive than that first click. So we have the ability to do that. You can ask us how if you'd like. Super excited to bring that into the dental space as well. And now we can essentially get a pig off of everybody else's marketing for these big implant centers. All right, next thing is, here's what happens. We build you a custom landing page. That custom landing page is a performance page, and it positions you and your virtual patient advocate as the implant provider of choice. And it really sets us up to do a virtual consultation for the patient. Okay. So that landing page, what happens is they click on that ad, it goes to the landing page, and they have to go through a survey. And this is a readiness assessment. It says things like, what's your biggest challenge? How long have you been missing your teeth? Are you unable to eat foods? And are you currently experiencing any pain or discomfort when eating or chewing? Have you ever found yourself hiding behind your smile, etc.? And so then they have the ability to upload a photo. We understand through the survey, there's multiple other questions to that. We understand through the survey a lot more about that patient. We can actually see their photo. This gives us things to talk about to them when we're actually scheduling a consultation. So once we schedule that consultation with the patient, we're able to essentially build that relationship and build that trust with them. Now, when the patient submits their lead, we're able to email them, text them, and call them. We actually are also able to take calls on demand and even do a virtual consultation on demand or schedule it on demand. So this is an example of a one-on-one virtual consult. We are using Doxy to do the virtual consults. And these virtual consultations, as you see, this one lasted about just over 30 minutes. We schedule the consultations for 1 hour. So what happens is that we do all of the front end work doing the consultations with the patient. We never diagnose. We only build the relationship, we educate, and then we go over the finance. But the important part is that you're not going to get any patients that comes to your practice unless they've been through us and they have the money, if that makes sense. So post-consultation, what happens? Essentially, we are following up with that patient, making sure that they had a good visit. We're advocating for that patient. So here's an example. After the patient was approved for financing and they went into the practice, and the virtual patient advocate reached back out to them and said, Miss Shireen, just wanted to let you know that you are a ray of sunshine and a spotlight of hope. Just talking to you today about my teeth just made me feel sure of myself. It inspired me to forget the judgment and to get it done. I've always been so skeptical about getting my teeth done, but you made me feel so comfortable. It's a pleasure to have wonderful people like you in this world that actually care, wanting to help. It's hard to come by. You're a blessing, and I wanted to tell you thank you for your time and actually listening to what I want as we are sharing thoughts and honesty. So that's the type of patient rapport that we're building with the patients, okay? And we are following this patient through, meaning that it's not just the virtual consult. We're going to talk to them after they go to your practice. If they go to get a second opinion, we're telling them, hey, I know you're going to get the second opinion this day. Make sure that is the doctor going to be referring you out to get your implant placed? Are you doing it under one roof? Make sure you get exact pricing. Know if they're going to be doing a sinus lift. Are they going to be charging you for a custom abutment? Are they going to be using bone? Ask these questions. What happens is after the appointment, the virtual patient advocate checks back in. And when they check back in with the patient, what happens is that patient may say, you know what? They couldn't tell me how much it cost. I got to go to a different office to get everything done. And they didn't know if I was going to have a sinus lift or not. You know what? I'm just going to come back into your practice. No problem. We're going to get you scheduled right here. And so the virtual patient advocate truly follows them all the way. So that's really awesome to know. Now, when you do get the patient approved, when we get the patient approved and we get them financed, right? We actually go through the financing with the office, okay? We go through the financing with the with the patient. We get them approved on the virtual consult. We work with many different finance companies, and only if they're approved or they have cash will we send them to you. And then when we send them to you, we'll be sending you a video overview, just like a 3 to 5 minute overview for you to review at your morning huddle. It will discuss exactly what we talked about with the patient. Okay. It will also to give you a virtual consultation form. So, you know, the fees essentially that we talked about and we discussed, we're not going to be diagnosing. Okay. Now, if they know that they wanted to have a full arch and this is a second opinion, we'll tell them the ranges of fees, but we're not diagnosing. Okay. They want to know essentially what things cost, and we're not going to sugarcoat things. We'll give them a range, but we're not going to sugarcoat things. This is going to make it so nobody wastes their time, and you're not going to get patients that are coming into your practice any longer that are tire kicking. They want this, they can afford it, and we weed out the rest of the patients. So here's how the flow works, okay? Just as an overview. The patient, they click the ad, they take a survey or call, immediate consultation happens or it is scheduled for us. We then do the consult and we build the relationship. Okay, that's the first thing. We then get the financing in order. After we get the financing in order, we schedule the patient in your practice. Now, I want you to understand this is extremely important. The patients that we are after are these high ticket patients, okay? Now, if a patient only gets approved, say, for $8,000 and they have $1,000 of cash, sure, we'll send you a $9,000 patient because they're ready and they can get something if that's what you want. But these are mostly big ticket items. So let me go ahead and explain this. The people that we're marketing to are people with no teeth, missing teeth, dentures, or a complete bombed out mouth. Those people, they have literally, most of them have no money and they have no credit. If they had the money or the credit, they wouldn't have gotten to that situation in the first place. So every single month, we're looking for unicorns. Now, here's the really cool thing. Unicorns actually exist. They really do. But the thing is there's only about 5% of those patients that want the treatment that can actually afford it or have the credit to get the financing to do it. So here's what we have to do. What we have to do is that we have to go and look for that 5%. See, here's the tough part. Your team doing it, chasing these traditional leads, sometimes there's a psychological barrier. They have a million hats they're wearing, and they're constantly searching for that 5%. What can be extremely difficult to find that 5%. So oftentimes they miss it because most of the leads that are coming in are bad leads. My team, which are highly trained treatment coordinators, they have one job. They don't wear many hats. And their job is to find the unicorns every month. And here's the really cool thing. Yes, there's only 5%, but there's another 5 to 10% that can afford credit repair. We send those patients away to credit repair, and then in 60 to 90 days, their credit is repaired to where they can actually get approved for financing to get $20,000 or $30,000 of work done. And so we follow them along that whole entire journey. That whole entire journey we follow them on. That is what you pay us for, right? To do all of that so that way you don't have to, because we do all of that for you. So the next thing is I want you to meet our team. During the pandemic, we were fortunate enough to have a ton of really high-level treatment coordinators sent home, furloughed, at home with their kids, not feeling safe at the office, and they wanted to go virtual. We had over 150 applications sent in, and we had to actually hire an HR person to do the screening and the interviews for all these. We ended up hiring about 15 virtual treatment coordinators. And these virtual treatment coordinators in office are highly trained, highly experienced, the best of the best. These are educated dental professionals who know their stuff, and they're able to build an emotional relationship with the patient. They're able to earn the trust of the patient, and then they're able to get them financed. And they know that they're searching for 5%. They are an extension to your team. So when you think about engaging us and working with us, you don't think that you're necessarily hiring a marketing company. You're hiring a team member who happens to be coming with marketing as well. Okay. So you're hiring a conversion specialist, essentially. And that conversion specialist is going to make it so you can use your time with your team doing the things that you do best. And you allow us to do what we do best, which is handle all of the leads that are coming in, screen them, do the consultations, get them financed, and hand them to you on a silver platter. Now, I want you to also meet our VP of Operations. She's with us from the very beginning. Her name is Michelle Barrios. I would call her like the quarterback, right? She helps to orchestrate our entire team. She's helped to grow and develop our entire implant marketing campaign, and it has been absolutely amazing. And now she's also helping us on a new journey because we're starting to get into airway. So if that's something that your office is into with sleep apnea and airway, that is something that you can ask us about as well. So let's talk about expectations and how things work. First off, the results that we're getting, what we have seen is that patients are having a buying process of 4 to 6 weeks. That means from the time that a lead comes in at any time during the campaign, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for them to get you the money, meaning that consults are done with us, maybe 2. Then we help them find the money. Then they show up to the office with their spouse, and maybe they get a second opinion, and then they come back and they start treatment. It's about a 4 to 6 week process. What happens is that the very first month, we are building you out. We're building your campaign out. There's a 40-item checklist for us. It is all hands on deck for my team. You're meeting with the virtual patient advocates, and we're recording that meeting so we understand how you practice in your practice specifically, what you can do. After we do that, we're going to build out your site. Your microsite. We're not going to have anything to do at all with your website. We're only going to be using our separate site that we build to run traffic from all the ads. And then we're going to build your ads. We're going to make sure you have all the finance companies all set up and ready to go. So that way in 30 days, when we turn on your ads, you have everything in line. Now, after that 30 days, what we specifically see is we see a 4 to 6 week ramp up time to where essentially the algorithms are taking place and we are starting to fill your pipeline. Now, what we've seen on average for results are by the 90 days of your ads being live, we are seeing consistently between 2 and 4 patients to be delivered to your practice per month. Some offices do get better, but that is the average. Okay. Now, will you get patients between that in that 90 days? Absolutely. You can get patients during that time. But the average is 2 to 4 per month. Now, remember, these 2 to 4 patients per month that you have coming in by that 90 days, these are big cases. You're talking $20, $30, $40, $50,000 cases. So the ROI is extremely good. Now, we talk about ROI. What is the investment? So we're actually charging $6,500 per month. What does that $6,500 per month look like? Well, $2,500 is going towards your ads, okay? So that's your YouTube, your Google, your Facebook, your Instagram display network. And then 4,000 of that is going towards us. That's all the software that it takes to run your campaign, a CRM system that we call Clio. It also includes your virtual patient advocate who will be doing all of your 1-hour consultations, screening your leads, following up with your leads, and then the marketing team to actually manage your ads. So it's kind of like hiring a bunch of team members at about $4,000 per month. Here's another thing. We were on a wait list. We're no longer on a wait list. I'm so happy we were able to scale the program because it was in such high demand. We're no longer on a wait list. We can start you immediately, which is absolutely awesome. And our VPAs are so good. And I'm just really excited to bring this program to market. Here's another thing. One of the things for us that we've learned through the pandemic is it was actually really hard for doctors to wrap their head around signing a long-term contract, right? A 12-month contract. And that is something that essentially was, unless they came from a trusted dentist that referred them because we were killing it for their office, it was a difficult ask. And so what we did is we realized that, look, people are sticking with us and we're killing it for offices. We don't even need to have a long-term contract. So we said, why even do a 6 months? Let's do no long-term contract. So the really cool thing is we're now offering month to month, meaning that essentially you have to do month to month. So it's $6,500 month 1, month 2, and so on. So your first month, your ads aren't live. So understand that we're all hands on deck building you out. Your second month, your ads are live. So $6,500 month 1, month 2, etc. The only thing that we ask is a 30-day notice if you do want to ever pause or end your campaign. So you'll be paying one more time, right? If you ever want to pause or end your campaign. But it made sense to do month to month because what do we need people in a long-term contract for? The ROI is there, you'll stay forever, right? So we're super excited to be offering that. We're super excited to be partnering with your team with Driven Dental Implant Marketing as well. So if this is something that sounds great for you, we're super excited to meet with you. Maybe we have a call that's coming up already, and super excited to have you on that call and to talk with you on that call. If you don't have a call scheduled, or if you do have a call scheduled, please reach out. You can reach out to me personally. I am the owner of the company, and shoot me a text and tell me what's on your mind, right? You can personally text me at 808-746-7307, or you can email me at elijah@drivendentalmarketing.com. The website is drivendentalmarketing.com as well. If you text me, please just say, Elijah, I have a call coming up with you guys. I'm super excited. Introduce yourself. Maybe even tell me a little bit about your practice, or say, Elijah, I would love to schedule a strategy call with you or your team and learn more about the program by just shoot me a text message. I would get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I would love to work with you. There's so many other valuable things that we have to offer. I am just so excited to bring this to the marketplace. And like I said, once again, if you do sleep apnea and you're in the airway space, we also are just starting to get into that world as well. And we're doing really well there. We've been doing it for the past 6 months. So anyways, if you have any questions, shoot a text message, an email, or contact us on the website. And maybe we already have a call. And this is just an overview for you. Thank you so much for listening. And we look forward to working with you. Thanks again and take care. Bye-bye.